Sorry, I got distracted by a bird. Good morning. Birds are happy this morning. We've actually got a tiny bit of blue sky. Yeah, so we're trying to get out in the garden before more rain comes. So it's Saturday today, and welcome back. My name's Kirsten. I work from home. I buy, sell vintage, antiques, collectibles, secondhand, anything that I think that I can sell online, on my website, on eBay, or in antique centres. And today we had planned to spend quite a bit of time in the garden because the forecast didn't look so bad, and then we got up this morning and the forecast changed and it's looking pretty grim for most of the day. So let's see what we can get done before the weather changes. But it is glorious at the moment. I think I'm going to open up my greenhouse and see what the state of things are in there. I haven't been in for ages. I'm not a winter gardener. That's Darren's domain. He gets out whenever it's dry. I get out when it's warm. But we're starting to think about spring and seedlings and stuff. I need to clean my greenhouse because it's gone all mildewy. Oh, that salvia's flowering. Look at that. Unbelievable. I think it didn't even flower that much in the summer because we didn't have much rain, did we? Oh dear. Oh dear. Maybe they've dried out a bit. Let me get some water in here. Yeah, watering is the first step. Can't really get on with any gardening because everywhere's too wet. I don't want to walk on the grass too much because it's so wet. But look at the bulbs coming up. These, I think, are daffodils, and there's aconites, are they? I think we asked you last year what they were, and I think it's aconites. And over in my front garden, see all the little tiny snowdrops? They're like miniature, tiny ones. And these roses I took from cuttings and planted last year, but I don't know which variety they are. I'm thinking they might be the dark red one from the front, but I don't know. They were swamped by other things that I'd planted in this bed, so they didn't get a lot of light this last summer. So I'm not going to plant quite so close to them this year and give them a bit more space to breathe. Dave's paroling. He's looking for, well, there was a rabbit on the other side of that fence a few minutes ago, so I think that he can smell it. But he's having a good search around the garden. He absolutely loves it. Jenny will normally be wherever Darren is. I can't see her. But I'm going to have a look. I think the boys have got themselves warm in their little den. Let's go and have a look. There they are. There's Ed. And Benji's that lump under there. Hello. Where's Jenny? I decided against doing too much gardening. It was just too wet. Everything's just absolutely soaking. So I just spent half an hour just under the clematis picking up all the little branches that, you know, when we've trimmed it, that have just fallen on the slate. And then Darren had done the pressure washing, and so sort of moss and everything was all on the slate. So I just spent half an hour. To be honest, you wouldn't know I've done anything because there's still loads left. But I think it's one of those jobs you do a little bit at a time and it'll gradually get better. But yeah. Everything is really wet and soggy, so it's not really much I can do about that. If you had the patience to watch my scrapbook video, that was quite interesting, with photos of different places, Frankfurt and Hamburg and Cannes and Monte Carlo and all that sort of stuff. I've got some framed pictures and photos as well that I'm going to do something with, that are quite interesting. So here's the first one. There's a framed photograph of a lady, and on the back it says Lady Burton, nay, and then I can't quite make out this, and then it says my sister. Can you read that? Any ideas what that name is there? But I love that. It is damaged because it would have had a a stand to stand up, and it doesn't have that. So I'm going to ask Darren if he can work out a way of fixing that to the wall, because I'd quite like a gallery wall of different photos and stuff. There's a little square one here. Don't know who that is. Might see if I can open it up and see if I can clean in the inside of the glass, because often you get this dirt. I've cleaned the outside, but sometimes if you to open it up and clean the inside of the glass, it makes a big difference. So might try that. I'm not sure what to do with this one. I don't know who that is. It's not quite a nice frame, sort of vintage frame, or even antique. If you look at the back, it's almost like pearlescence to it. It's quite nice, that. I'm thinking that's probably, frame-wise, it's probably 1920s, 1930s. And this one is a tooled leather frame. So often these were made in Italy, this sort of tooled leather with gold detail. You get boxes and all sorts that are made in Italy. It is scuffed and things, and the photos dropped in there. And my only concern is trying to open it up. Will I damage the clips? But I might try and open that up and put maybe something else in there rather than that photograph. And then I've got this one. This just came in a big job lot. Can you see him? I wouldn't want to meet him on a dark night, would you? It's like, and this is obviously like, this is either bone or ivory. I'm hoping it's bone, but so I'm not going to try and sell it, because for that reason I don't know what it is. So I'm just going to hopefully find a way to fix it on the wall, the gallery picture. So it's that one. Oh, here, this one. Look at this photo frame. Isn't that beautiful frame? Look at that. With the oak. Is it oak leaves? No, maybe not. Holly leaves, maybe. Yeah, unfortunately this one's damaged as well. The back's come off, but I could put some tape on that to hold that in place, but there's nothing to fix it, so I think it would have to sit on a shelf. But isn't that gorgeous? Very fine beard he's got. There's that one. And then we have this one. To try and angle it so you don't get my camera. And then there's some pencil writing on the back. I haven't looked at what that says actually. Given to me by somebody, Lewis. And this is the same name that was in the scrapbook. Golding or whatever, Welbeck. Who is that? The Right Honourable William Little, maybe that says. That's that one. And then we've got this one. Love this. Just this, the way it's framed, it's absolutely gorgeous. You've got this gold here, and then the gold here that's picked up again, and then the gold on the name as well. That's a very fine portrait. That one is Sir Dudley Digges. Dudley Digges, D-I-G-G-E-S. No idea who he is. Bit of Google should help me with that. And then we have this one, again, beautiful with this gold all around here, and then again on this plate here. This fine gentleman with his cat. Love it. That is Henry Rio Thiesley, 3rd Earl of Southampton. Isn't that cool? Love that. And then finally, we've got a little miniature Rembrandt. I mean, we're not talking an original, but Isn't that I love that. Again, as I say, I think I'm going to get Darren to try and make me a gallery wall to put small portraits and pictures up. I might put some on my website, so look out if you're interested, because I can keep looking for more and swapping them around as and when I've got them. Yeah, so I thought I'd show you those. I've decided to go to the garden centre and get my seeds and maybe some seed compost. And so I'm going to go to Chapel St Leonard's. If any of you've got any ideas for that front box, so it's got lavenders in at the minute, but I can take them out. And last year it did look really nice for about 6 weeks. I had the Californian poppies, I think they're called Michaelmas daisies, and what else did I have in there? Some Alison and stuff like that. It did look pretty, but just didn't last long enough. So if you've got any ideas, let me know. Okay, I have 2 bags of seed compost. A bit of a bargain. I don't think I was supposed to get it that cheap, if I'm honest. Anyway, I got a cyclamen that's on its way out, but it was £1 and I couldn't resist. And then I got some seeds. They didn't have everything that I wanted, which was a bit disappointing. I wanted some honesty. They did not have any honesty, so I couldn't get that. But I'll show you when I get back what seeds I bought. So here's what I got. This cyclamen. It's not too bad. It's got a few dead flowers on, but that'll come back next year and everything. So Darren's going to plant that out somewhere. And then these are the seeds that I got. Echinacea I was after, so I got that. And I wanted some sweet peas. And these ones do say they've got long stems and they're scented, so go with those. These 2 are ones that I did last year, Alison and Gypsophilia, which I liked both of those. So I thought I'm going to get more of those because they were just 99p a packet. So I thought that's worth getting those. I got some pansies, but I didn't get any violas because I didn't like the colour of the violas. They were sort of orangey, which wasn't my bag. They didn't have any honesty, which I'd hoped to get, but never mind. And I thought I'd try these. Again, these were 99p, so I thought I'd give them a go. Busy Lizzies. I think they're more like container plants, but we've got a few pots and things, so give those a go. And then Darren had asked me to get some green and red lettuce, so I got those. And his box of seeds has arrived, so I'm going to have a look through what he ordered. So there is his seeds that he's ordered. These are from Premier Seeds. And then he's ordered seed potatoes as well. You just get one variety. Oh no, there's 2 bags in there. Does it say what variety they are? Maris Pipers. Gently take those off. And Charlotte. Okay, I've got them out of the bag. So they all come in these foil bags, and then you've got a QR code and you can find out what you need to know via the QR code. So pepper, hot Havana Gold, peppermint. Oh, this is for my tea. But grow some peppermint so that I can have peppermint tea. Cucumbers, honey plus F1. Oh, borlotti beans. That's a new one for us. We're going to try those. Climbing purple bean. Tomato moneymaker. Cavallonero, kale. Sun gold. Oh, I love those. Another tomato. Ponchi FA red. There's only 5 seeds in there. Wow. And then a Charles Dowding ones. We've got a courgette, Defender F1, and a beetroot, Burpee Golden. Oh, we had these before. They're really nice. Made myself a coffee. Darren's going to make us some lunch in a bit. While I remember, I want to say thank you. Thank you to Margaret, Claire, Helen and Kirsten. Also, maybe I might not have said thank you to Lisa, June, Helen and Kaz. I can't remember. But thank you for ordering on my website. I really do appreciate it. And also remember, I've got an Avon link down there. If anybody is a regular Avon user, if you go through my link, I just earn a bit of commission and it keeps my account open. I'm a bit concerned that it's going to get switched off soon. Yeah, and what's the plans? It's actually starting to cloud over now, but it hasn't been too bad. Darren's feeling a bit better because he's managed to get a few things done that we've just not been able to get on with over the last few weeks. I haven't been able to do anything, so it's been quite depressing. Well, we did go out last weekend and do all that mulching on the big bed, but apart from that, we haven't really done anything. And we think we're going to... Last year, we planted loads of seeds at this time of year, but we're going to wait another couple of weeks, leave it a couple of weeks longer, because what I found with mine was I was really successful with my seeds, but I couldn't plant them out when they were ready because it still wasn't quite warm enough outside. Things got quite leggy, so I think if I'm going to hold off another week or so, I'm not going to plant the sort of quantity all in one go that I did last time. My plan is to do a lot in a week or so's time, but only a few from each seed packet, and then wait maybe 3 weeks or 4 weeks and then do the same again, and that way the seeds won't all get ready at once, and I'll maybe be able to keep on top of things a bit better, because at one point I was just pricking out and potting on plants, they were just getting out of control. So trying to stage it a little bit better this year. There's also a few things that I know benefit from having the tips sort of taken out of them to make them go bushier and less leggy. One of those was Cosmos, but I think I'm going to try the same with the Gypsophilia as well, because I have a feeling that will work with that. And some of the salvias as well. Right, let's think about what I'm going to do next. I've just been on my website and put a few more new bits in the clearance section. So next time you're on, have a little look what things have been added. We had some lunch. Oh, I'm going to pop this on my website as well. It's a jewellery box. It does have, look, can you see? I don't know if that's paint or scuffs. I've given it a quick wipe and it didn't come off with a quick wipe, but maybe with a bit more elbow grease, you'd get it clean. And there is the top of my desk. It's very cluttered. But yeah, you can see inside. And what I didn't notice to start with is it was actually a music box, but there's no key. That I can't test it. I don't know whether it works when you've got a key, but maybe it's something that you like to see if you've got something that you can make into it. It's actually quite nice, this flower design. It just needs a little bit of TLC, so if anybody's up for that, I'll pop that on the website. Darren's gone upstairs to get changed after being in the garden. Jenny's at the bottom of the stairs whining. Dave's sat here, aren't you? And Benji and Eddie are just pacing around in the hallway, waiting for Darren to come back. It is now about 1:15. Darren's on the sofa with the dogs watching the football. I'm going to do some listing on my website, and thought I'd have a read through this old paper from 1953 about the great floods in Lincolnshire. I didn't know anything about it, but yeah, there's a lot of, it's a big story. There's lots of information about it, so I thought I'd have a little look through that. So the video that came out before this one was the scrapbook. Now, it hasn't gone out yet as I film this, only to members, and I don't know how it'll have gone down, so I'm expecting that it's not that popular. But if it's your kind of thing, let me know, because I've got things like this newspaper that's really interesting. I love just like the old adverts as well as the actual stories in them. So if you're interested in having a look through an old newspaper, let me know. There's also another box file with photos and pictures and stuff, and then a little photo album with some old, I think they're Victorian photographs. So let me know if you're interested, but I don't want to bore you with it if you're not. Okay, well, I'm going to get going. I'm just going to put some music on, put my wax melt on, and do some listing on my website. I think I already said, but I've put a few bits in the clearance, so have a look at those. Yeah, hope you had a good weekend. Take care, stay safe, and I will see you soon.